TSA insiders are blowing the whistle on President Trump's drastic security cuts that have left airports dangerously vulnerable right now. With millions of dollars diverted to border security and officers saying they can't protect the country anymore, are you about to walk through an airport security system that's been quietly dismantled? Number 8. New staff shortages causing longer lines. Ever wonder why you're stuck in airport security lines for what feels like forever these days? TSA is facing its worst staffing crisis since the pandemic, and it's making travel a nightmare for everyone. According to the TSA Officers Association report from February 2025, over 4,200 officers quit their jobs in the past 6 months. That's almost 8% of the total workforce. The main reason? TSA officers make about $41,000 per year, while similar government security jobs pay $52,000 or more. The Department of Homeland Security confirmed in March 2025 that wait times at major airports now average 45 minutes during peak hours, double what they were last year. At airports like Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson and LAX, lines have stretched outside the buildings on holiday weekends. What can travelers do? Download the official MyTSA app, which shows real-time wait times at your airport. Try to book flights for Tuesday, Wednesday, or Saturday when airports are less busy. Some officers shared that security lines are shortest between 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. at most airports. Also, if you arrive and see massive lines, ask an airport employee if there are other security checkpoints that might be less crowded. Many airports have hidden checkpoints that fewer travelers know about. But that's not the only reason lines are slow. Let's look at what's happening with screening technology. Number 7. Outdated screening equipment breaking down. Are you shocked when TSA officers start digging through your carefully packed bag by hand instead of using those fancy scanners? Outdated equipment is causing major headaches for both officers and travelers across the country. According to the TSA Technology Update, released in January 2025, nearly 35% of airport scanning machines are now past their recommended service life. The newest CT 3D scanners that let you keep liquids and electronics in your bag were supposed to be in every major airport by now, but the Department of Transportation confirmed budget cuts have slowed deployment to just 64% of planned locations. At Chicago O'Hare alone, equipment failures caused 12 partial terminal shutdowns in January 2025, affecting over 40,000 travelers. When scanners break down, officers must switch to time-consuming manual searches. A retired TSA supervisor revealed that airports are keeping old machines running with spare parts from decommissioned units, like putting Band-Aids on a broken system. When traveling, pack your liquids and electronics where they're easy to remove in case the advanced scanners aren't working. Also, check the airport website before leaving home. Many now post alerts about equipment problems and suggest which terminals have the newest technology. Speaking of budget problems, wait until you hear what's happening with training. Number 6. Training programs cut by 30%. Ever wonder why some TSA officers seem confused about the rules or take forever to check your bags? Training cuts might be the reason. According to the Department of Homeland Security's March 2025 report, new TSA officers now receive only 5 weeks of training instead of the previous 8 weeks. This 30% reduction came after President Trump's administration redirected $155 million from TSA's training budget to border security initiatives. The shorter training program skips important sections on recognizing unusual threats and handling special situations. The American Security Alliance survey, released in February 2025, showed that 68% of officers hired in the last 6 months feel underprepared for their jobs. A former TSA training instructor revealed that new officers now get just 12 hours of hands-on practice with screening equipment instead of 20 hours. This means they're learning on the job while checking your bags. When flying, be extra patient with officers who have the trainee badge. If you notice an officer seems unsure about something, politely ask for a supervisor rather than arguing. Many airports now have special lanes staffed by veteran officers. Look for signs saying expert screening or experienced officer lane to get through security faster and with fewer mistakes. But training isn't the only thing being cut. The next point shows how officers' tools are being limited too. If you want to stay ahead of changing travel rules that could affect your next trip, hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss our weekly updates. Number 5. Restricted access to intelligence updates. Do you feel safe knowing the person checking your bag might not have the latest security information? TSA officers are reporting they don't get important security updates as quickly as before, and that's scary for everyone who flies. According to congressional testimony by TSA union representatives in January 2025, the system that shares information about new threats has been significantly scaled back. Officers now receive weekly security briefings instead of daily ones as part of the Trump administration's TSA streamlining initiative that cut intelligence sharing staff by 40%. A March 2025 report from the Aviation Security Advisory Committee found that critical threat information now takes an average of 5.2 days to reach frontline officers, compared to less than 24 hours in previous years. Former TSA intelligence officer Maria Rodriguez told the Washington Post that officers are increasingly relying on outdated threat profiles. When you're traveling, pay attention to officers who might ask unusual questions. They're often trying to fill gaps in their knowledge. If you notice something genuinely suspicious, tell an officer directly rather than assuming they already know about it. Also, consider joining the TSA pre-check program, as those lanes are typically staffed with more experienced officers who receive priority intelligence updates and training. Next up is something that's making officers particularly worried. Number 4. New limits on secondary screenings. Have you ever wondered why that suspicious-looking person just sailed through security while you got pulled aside for having hand lotion? Officers now face stricter rules about when they can do extra checks on passengers. According to the TSA policy update from February 2025, President Trump's administration implemented new guidelines requiring officers to have specific articulable reasons for secondary screenings instead of relying on their trained instincts. The Department of Homeland Security quarterly report shows secondary screenings dropped by 22% in the first quarter of 2025, while the number of prohibited items discovered fell by 17%. A TSA supervisor at Dallas-Fort Worth Airport told Aviation Weekly that officers now feel handcuffed when they notice something doesn't seem right but can't point to a specific rule violation. When traveling now, you'll likely move through screening faster, but might feel less safe knowing that officers can't act on subtle warning signs they've been trained to notice. The best thing to do is arrive at the airport with plenty of time so you can report anything truly suspicious to supervisors. You'll feel much more relaxed knowing you've done your part, while those rushing through might miss important security concerns. Look for the officers with gold stripes on their shoulders. These are supervisors who have more authority to conduct additional screenings. The changes in screening connect directly to our next point. Number 3. Rush processing times causing mistakes. Did you know TSA officers now have less time to check you than it takes to brush your teeth? The rush is real and could affect your safety. According to the Government Accountability Office report published in March 2025, TSA management has set new processing goals of approximately 20 seconds per passenger instead of the previous 30 seconds. This change came after President Trump's executive order on enhancing transportation efficiency directed TSA to process 25% more passengers with the same staffing levels. While you'll zip through security faster than ever, you might miss the peace of mind that comes with thorough screening. Internal TSA reports leaked to the Transportation Safety Journal show a 15% increase in test items, fake weapons, and prohibited items, making it through checkpoints during security drills. A veteran TSA officer anonymously told CNN that rushing through screenings is like trying to read a book while someone flips the pages for you. When traveling, consider using early morning flights before 7 a.m. when officers are less rushed and airports are quieter. You'll feel calm and collected knowing your screening was done right, not rushed. Also, wear easily removable shoes and simple clothing to help officers do their job well even when pressed for time. Both you and your fellow travelers will benefit from the thorough security. The pressure on officers isn't just about time. It's also about who they can check. Number 2. New rules limiting who can be screened. Ever wonder why that person acting super nervous just walked right through security without any extra checks? Recent policy changes have made it harder for TSA to screen certain travelers more thoroughly. According to Homeland Security's January 2025 directive, officers must now follow extremely strict anti-profiling guidelines that President Trump's administration implemented to address civil rights complaints. The Passenger Rights Coalition reports that while protecting civil rights is important, 65% of TSA officers surveyed feel these new rules have gone too far and prevent them from doing their jobs effectively. A 15-year TSA veteran told the Senate Transportation Committee that officers now need 3 separate indicators before conducting enhanced screening, compared to just one previously. When traveling, you can help by reporting genuinely suspicious behavior directly to supervisors rather than assuming officers are handling it. You'll feel safer knowing you've alerted the right people to potential concerns. But whatever you do, don't loudly point out suspicious people. This just creates chaos and often leads to innocent travelers being harassed. Instead, quietly approach a uniformed supervisor and share your concerns. Also, did you know that some airports now have anonymous tip texting services? Look for signs with a special code number you can text if you notice something concerning without drawing attention. And finally, the biggest change affecting TSA officers' ability to do their jobs. Number 1. Budget cuts under new administration. Did you know your safety at airports might be compromised because of money being moved elsewhere? The biggest change in 2025 is President Trump's new budget plan for TSA. According to the Federal Budget Office's March 2025 report, the administration has cut TSA funding by 12%, $915 million, compared to last year, redirecting those funds to border security initiatives. The White House spokesperson claimed that new technology will make up for fewer officers, but the Congressional Transportation Safety Committee found that technology upgrades would take at least 3 years to fully implement, creating a dangerous security gap in the meantime. A recent survey published in Aviation Security Today found that 76% of TSA employees believe these cuts significantly impact their ability to maintain security standards. Former TSA Administrator David Wilson warned that reduced funding means fewer K-9 teams, less frequent equipment maintenance, and fewer behavior detection specialists. When traveling now, you'll want to be extra vigilant about your own safety. But whatever you do, don't try to rush or argue with officers who seem overwhelmed. This only makes the situation worse for everyone. Instead, sign up for trusted traveler programs like Global Entry or TSA PreCheck. You'll sail through security with a smile while knowing these programs maintain high security standards even during budget crunches. These TSA challenges directly affect your travel safety in 2025, so staying informed is more important than ever. Hit subscribe now to get our daily updates on changing travel security policies that could save your next trip from disaster.